Good morning, everybody. We are here.
Here we are.
Here we are. I just want
This is
to,
us.
this is us. I want to proclaim confession, maybe,
Sure.
that since my little bit of weight loss, I realize that I'm getting a little bit more chilly and I might have subjected you to unruly and unfair conditions in our household.
Because you're so skinny now.
I'm so thin. No, but I'm not even that thin. But I was downstairs in our meeting and I'm like blanketing up. And I'm like, it is chilly down here.
It is chilly.
And so I might have subjected you to unfair climate conditions inside of our house. So hopefully this summer, maybe we'll have a little bit of wiggle room in the thermostat. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got to say. So I apologize to you openly and honestly. And I will try to. And here's another honest thing. If I really want to be honest about the winter, you know how I like to look at very pessimistic. No, optimistic. I'm very optimistic.
Winter's over.
I like winter is literally January and February. Although I'm really struggling because it was like summer out and we were wearing vests and it was like 10 degrees and now it's not. And I'm like, this needs to be over. So I feel the frustration.
That's because winter goes till the end of March.
No.
Yes, it
I
does.
refuse to believe that. And I refuse. I will not believe that.
It happens every year.
No.
You can live in delusion and denial, but I'm going to live in reality. And
people drive motorbikes in March, I think. I don't know.
There can be times in March where you can get away with driving a motorbike.
William, how's it going? Do people drive where I think he's in out
BC.
west. Yeah. So people drive motorbikes all year round. Yeah. But he knows our pain because he's lived in Ontario. Mm-hmm. But I do believe people drive motorbikes in Ontario maybe in March. I don't know that for sure.
There can be. Remember, we went
I think
mini
it would
golfing.
be dangerous.
We went mini golfing March break one time, but that does not happen every year.
So I would say that end of February is the end of winter, although I am feeling the frustration of over winterize.
So if I live that way, then I'm going to be frustrated every time it's cold in March.
No, maybe you won't be. Maybe you'll be released from the winter, and sometimes there's hiccups.
No, you can't just think it to be warm. Winter lasts till the end of March, and then if I'm expecting that,
I still don't accept that.
If I'm accepting that, if acceptance is the key, and I accept that winter goes till the end of March, then I am joyously and pleasantly surprised.
What if?
You're not even listening to me.
I am listening. What if in March? I don't need to get I don't have to feather your ruffles about weather.
We see differently. That's fine.
March break will come and we will rejoice, no matter what the weather.
Yes.
Here we go for our meditation of the day.
Now we can take an inventory of the good things that have come to us through the program. To begin with, we're sober today. That is the biggest asset on any alcoholic's books. Sobriety to us is like goodwill in business. Everything else depends on that. Most of us have jobs which we owe to our sobriety. We know we couldn't hold these jobs if we were drinking, so our jobs depend on our sobriety. Most of us have families, wives, and children which we had either lost or might have lost if we hadn't stopped drinking. We have friends in AA, real friends who are always ready to help us. Do I realize that my job, my family, and my real friends are dependent upon my sobriety? Meditation for the day. I must trust God to the best of my ability. This lesson has to be learned. My doubts and fears continually drive me back into the wilderness. Doubts lead me astray because I am not trusting God. I must trust God's love. It will never fail me, but I must learn not to fail it by my doubts and fears. We all have much to learn in turning out fear by faith. All our doubts arrest God's work in us. All our doubts arrest God's work through us. I must not doubt. I must believe in God and continually work at strengthening my faith.
So faith and love and doubt and fear are two identifiers in this reading. And so am I in God's, am I faithful to God? Am I living a life of faith? And then I think it's important to talk about the results and the outcomes. So if I have a life of faith, then sobriety is one of those outcomes, but then having employment with purpose and having spare time with meaning and on mission and seeing other people recover, I think those are good results. I'm in a little bit of food. I'm changing my diet, as you know, and I have results. But I'm not blowing the horn from the mountaintops. But at the same
They are
time,
exciting results.
they are exciting results. And sometimes I do show you how many belt buckles I've lost. Not belt holes. And it's like there's actual results. And so if I have a life of faith where I had a life of doubt, I will have God's love instead of being fueled by fear. And so now I'm guided by God's love, and where God's love is, it casts out fear. And so now I start living a life of trusting God and all of my activities and my work and my employment, in what I do with my spare time, what I do with my money, what I do with in my personal relationships. And there's some pretty astounding outcomes. Wouldn't you agree?
I do. I think that the outcomes are very outstanding.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that it's saying we all have much to learn in turning out fear by faith. And it's true, because I think we keep learning.
And I think that's a process. I think there's a beginning of just putting my faith in God. And then there's the walking it out. And that's, we're at 16 years of trying to walk it out, and we still run into doubts, and we still have fears that pop up throughout even a day. And so it's not about like doing it perfectly, but it's being perfectly faithful to God. And so what's our prayer for today?
Prayer for the day. I pray that I may live the way God wants me to live. I pray that I may get into that stream of goodness in the world.
Oh, really praying for God's results and not my results.
Just climb into the stream.
Climb into the stream. So
float along. Maybe it's a lazy river.
You love your lazy river. That's what it's like. All right, we leave you today on this beautiful Wednesday. May keep the peace and be of good behavior, and keep on smiling and get those outcomes.